Okay, so before you get out on the road, you need to make sure that all your equipments are working in the correct order and you have enough oxygen in your oxygen cylinder. So first of all, we're going to start with the oxygen cylinder here. You know it's an oxygen cylinder because of the label here says it's an oxygen cylinder. Usually it comes sealed, however, because the bottle, the cylinder has already been used, it's in use, so the seal have been taken out. And over here we have a regulator which will determine how much oxygen is left inside the cylinder. And you can also control the airflow per minute, depending on how much you want to deliver to the patient. So now we're just going to attach that. Something else to point out, you don't need to worry about mixing the regulators because they have different pins, and both axes is sealed and it's not ripped, so no oxygen is going to leak out, so it's safe to use. So just going to put this there, slide it on the top like so. You just want to turn and you want to tighten it, but not too tight. So now we're just going to turn it on, or open it, and it's showing me there's around 700 psi. That's usually not enough to go out on the road by itself, so you'd have another oxygen cylinder or get this refilled. So now we're just going to deliver oxygen to my friend Sam here through a nasal bronch, and we usually deliver around 2 to 4 liters per minute. So I'm just going to attach this, and I'm going to deliver 3 liters per minute. As you can see, she can just breathe normal as if you breathe through your nose, like so. Now to pressurize the oxygen cylinder or the regulator, you can just close it like this. I'm just going to take this out. You just close it like this, and it just depressurized like so. So now it's off, and you just put it back to 0, and you can take off the regulator like that. Now moving on to the monitor. You turn it on, and you want to run an operational check first. So we're just going to put it on 150. Menu, other, operational check, and run an operational check. The test load has already been attached to make sure the shock is actually being delivered. So in here it's just going to say acknowledge, and it's just going to work its way slowly, but it will happen eventually. So in progress. What you need to do is you always need to know that everything is working in the right order. So you need to check the charge. You need to be able. So we're just going to press charge here, deliver shock.
Shock delivered.
Now until it finishes operational check, we're just going to move on to the suction over here. So the suction you usually want to generate around 350 millimeters of mercury, and to do this you just turn it on like so, and pitch it like this. And you may need to make sure you have enough battery as well. So you can see you generated over 350 millimeters of mercury, so it's safe. However, if it did not, you want to troubleshoot it and make sure everything is in the right position, everything is attached properly, and it should work. At this stage of knowledge, you only use a hard yanker, and when you want to put in a patient, you need to make sure you cover the hole like so. Now, moving back to the monitor. So as you can see, the operational check have passed. So we're just gonna go back to the main menu. I have edited it out because the operational check usually takes a lot of time, and for the sake of this video, we had to cut it out. So what we're gonna first do is you're gonna check after we run the operational check and everything is worked correctly. We want to check the volume and make sure that we are able to control it. So we're just gonna go to the volume like so. And you can just see QRS. You can just put in very loud. And to actually make sure I've attached the lead on my friend here, so I'm just going to change it into 3 lead, like so, and you can hear it in a sec. Now to change the alarm voice,
If needed,
you can just do it
begin
like so.
CP. If needed, begin
And to change
CPR.
the alarm volume, do the same thing, just go on alarm, like so. And sometimes if you have the leads attached to a wrist or ankles, the amplifier will be real small, so you want to adjust that as well. So you just go in menu, display wave 1, 3 lead, and you can just adjust it like so to 4 times as much. And as you can see, the size has increased. But we're just going to make it for 1 for the sake of this video as appropriate. Again, I'm just going to show you again how to do the QRS volume. And you can just do it like so. It's very loud. I'm just going to put it on medium for now because I know my friend here is in stable condition. So something else good to note is there's only one battery here. You usually want to have 2 full batteries, but for the sake of this video, one battery should be more than enough. Something else you need to check as well is your carbon dioxide monitor. So what you do is you just get it out, and it's a twist. So when you just go on the side of the monitor, you attach it, and you just twist. And as you can see in here, it's connected. And when you disconnect it, it's going to tell you that you want to disconnect it, or it has been disconnected. You just press yes. And that's all. Okay, so in the operational check, I've actually charged it and tested. I applied the charge in the test load, and it took it, and obviously it was successful because the test user had passed. However, in some occasions, when you need to disarm the charge, when you press charge, like so, you just press it on here, and by clicking this, you have disarmed the charge. That's it. All right. So in this scenario, we've been called out to a drunk patient who is unconscious, and so what we were trying to accomplish is control his airway for him and see if there's nothing blocking his airway. So what we're going to do first is check the airway. Oh, he swallowed the glove, so just checking it out there. So putting it in a manual maneuver position, which is tilting his head, and should lift his chin for him. The patient is throwing up. Putting him in a recovery position, sit on the suction, make sure it's generating 350 millimeters of mercury. Yep. So just put it as far as I can see, and that's for 10 seconds so I don't damage the back of the throat, and block the hole and start sucking. Yep, 10 seconds up, putting him back in. And we always try to make tilt his head and lift his chin. So what we're going to do now is insert the OPA or NPA, and to do so we need to measure it first. Put it from their mouth to their mandible. Yeah, fits perfectly. So tilt to 180 degrees, so you don't push the tongue backwards and obstruct the airway. Yep, so it fits perfectly like so. However, in some cases, if you couldn't put the OPA for any reason, you want to try and put the NPA, and you measure that by putting it next to the nose and also to the mandible as well. Fits perfectly. So what you're going to do now is loop it first, because the nose is a soft, smooth, soft tissue, soft muscle tissues, and you don't want to damage it. So what you want to do first is go to the biggest nostril. In this case, it's the right one, and you just rotate it around and make it perpendicular to their heads, and just pushing it slowly down, and it just like so, and it fits perfectly. However, if you couldn't put it in this nostril, you try and if there's too much resistance, you don't want to damage it, so you go to the other nostril. So what we're going to do now is check the bag if there's no rips or anything, and we do so by connecting the hair, blowing it. Yeah, it looks perfect to me. No rips, no nothing, no air leaking. So I'm just going to connect it back, like so. Putting the mask back on, turning the oxygen on. We're going to deliver 10 to 15 liters per minute because it's a bag valve mask. So putting in a CNN, putting the mask in a CNN position, like so, and just making sure that his head is tilted backwards. So what we will want to do is deliver one breath for every 6 to 8 seconds, and we try to deliver around 7 milliliters for every kg. However, because it's hard to predict his weight, what we're going to do is just see when the chest rises. Otherwise, or check when there's resistance, which indicates that the lungs is taking full capacity of air. So what I'm going to do now is get my partner here to put pressure on his apple, Adam apple. Just 2 fingers, like so, a bit more. Yeah, that should be fine. And that will prevent any oxygen going down into the stomach, because that would cause stomach inflammation, like so. Ambulance, how can I help? Approaching the patient, it's safe to do so. There's 2 people here, but there's no hazard or anything about it. There's another additional exit there if I need to use it. So just checking, putting the suction there too in case I needed it. So checking for response. Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me? There is no response, so I'm going to check the end of the airway, and I'm looking for any chest rise for 10 seconds. 1,000, 1,002, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, Can I get you starting in compressions? AUTAN 104 requesting R3301, R51, R50 for an R49. So don't worry, I'm just gonna work around you.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Do not touch the patient.
I'll just get you stop compressions for a sec.
I'm clear.
Shock advised. Charging. Stay clear of patient.
Clear. Stay clear.
Deliver shock now.
Clear.
Rest the
I'll
shock
try to
delivered.
get you back into compressions. So what I'm going to do now, I need to insert, I'm going to measure, I pre-measured the OPA, inserting it properly, just to it in 180. Like so. Also connected the back valve bag, delivering around 10 to 15 liters per minute. I'll just work around you as well. Just tell me when you reach 25.
Roger.
I'm going to put it in manual handling, which is tilting his head and lifting his jaw. Tell me when you're 25 again.
Yep.
23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Good chest rise.
Okay, so we're checking for, there's no excess pressure, so therefore there's no any upper airway obstruction, which is good. Just tell me when you're 25 again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check it for a wallet. So I'm just going to approach and look for your wallet. Oh, here's his wallet here. Checking his age. Yep. I'm going to check if there's any medical bracelet. No, nothing.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
So you're trying to deliver one 7 milliliters for every kg. So what I'm gonna do next, me and my partner here are gonna swap as soon as the next shock is advised.
22, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30.
Get you in the compression. So my suction here is always ready if needed. If the patient puked or there was any other airway or liquid that is obstructing the airway.
Stop CPR.
Stop CPR.
Analyzing heart rhythm.
Just swap with you.
Stay clear of patient. Shock advised. Deliver shock
Stand
now.
clear.
Press the orange
Stand
button
clear.
now. Shock delivered. Pause. Start CPR.
So compressions, I'm going just perfectly deep enough to make sure that it's effective. And I'm also gonna try and deliver 100 compressions per minute. And the ratio would be 30 to 2, 30 compressions, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 30 compressions for every 2 breaths. The patient here have a catastrophic hemorrhage, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a cath around about 10 centimeters approximately to the wound. So I'm just going to put it up there like so. Expose the wound, obviously. Tighten it. I'm going to assign analgesia because it's going to be painful. Just going to put this like so. Going to time it. I'm going to feel for a pulse. Pulse dissipates, so you don't need to apply a second tonic. Hey there, ambulance here. I see you introduce yourself. You reckon I can help you clean it up and
Sure.
sleep? Thank you very much. At first, we just want to clean it, the wound and make sure that all the dirt and everything is out. So we can do this by going in the middle and squirting some outwards and downwards as well. Then we get the dressings and apply it on here, on the wound itself. And I'll just get you put your hands on it to add some pressure on it. Something else to note, since it's in the middle of the forearm, we don't need to pack the wound. So what I'm going to get you to do first is just going to put this here like so. I'll get you to lift your arm. Can you move your arm now? Thank you. And you try and tighten it a bit so you can put pressure on the wound, like so. How does that feel? Is that too tight?
No, that's fine, thank you.
So you can just tuck it under,
Yeah.
like so. So, and if it's alright, since you bled a bit, is it alright if I took your heart rate and the blood pressure?
Sure.
So is it okay if I just get your wrist for a sec? I'll just get you to put it on your chest. So what I'm actually doing now, I'm gonna measure his heart rate, his pulses, and also his respiratory rate. However, I'm not gonna tell him about me measuring his respiratory rate, because that could change his behavior, and he could actually control it because he get nervous or other reasons. So I'm just gonna move this a bit upwards so I can feel the pulses. And I have a clock there so I can time myself. So I'm just gonna count it. Okay, so I timed it for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna time the respiratory rate by 3, which was 6. So 6 by 3 is 18, which is normal. And his pulse rate was 25. 25 by 3 would be 75, which is also right. So that's his heart rate and respiratory rate. So after treating the wound, it's always a good idea to elevate the arm, like so. Okay, so is it okay if I also took your blood pressure?
Sure.
Just move your sleeve up a little bit.
Sure.
And you need to measure this if it's the right size.
Yeah.
Yep, it looks right. So I'm just going to put the battery around here, like so. Just top of it. However, because of the settings and the purpose of this video, we're just going to go and measure the systolic over diastolic. Usually you want to do a full blood pressure assessment, but because this video kind of eliminates the time and pre-hospitalized, you just kind of want to get the blood pressure straight away. So I'm just going to put this on. Yeah, I'll just get you to hold that. Thank you. So turn it just clockwise so you stop the air from escaping and you stop pumping. Okay, that was 121 over 78. Alright, so if it's okay with you, I would like to take this. I want to monitor your lungs. I want to see how they sound and if everything's fine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put this. It could be a bit cold. Can I get you to take a deep breath, please? Good stuff. Side. I'll just get you to do it just under your apex over here. Perfect. The other side now. Good stuff. Now, can I get you to turn around, please? Can I get you to take a deep breath? Good stuff. Just one more. Right. So, by doing so, I have found out that there is no expiration tweezers and everything seemed smooth and clear. So there's nothing to worry about here. Also, a good note. Can I also take your heart rate, your pulses again, if that's
Sure.
Yeah. So I can tell that pulses are regular. There's nothing irregular, and the pulses are bounding. So yeah. So in this video, I'm gonna demonstrate how to apply a splint on a broken arm, and it's also good to check the cardiovascular and neurological integrity before and after splinting. So, hey there, how can I help you?
My arm's really sore. It's about halfway down.
Oh, how is the pain?
It's probably about a 7.
Okay, so in this case, I would advise, I would give the patient some nitric oxide, which would numb the pain. However, because for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna assume that I have given that to the patient. So now I'm just gonna, if it's alright, can I touch your arm?
Sure.
So I'm gonna be feeling for the neurological and cardiovascular integrity. Yep, pulse is pounding and everything looks fine. Hands are, the hour is warm. Does this feel ordinary?
It feels ordinary.
So that's good. Now I'm gonna check for cap refill here. Yep, cap refill looks good. Alright, does your fingers tingle?
No.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take your cardiovascular here. Yep, and also it's beating. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna apply the splint into his arm. So so I'll just get you to hold this,
Sure.
and I'm gonna assist you to lift your arm for you.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to prevent any movement that would cause more pain. So as soon as I lift your arm for you, I'll just want you to put this under your arm, and I'll rest it on it easily and slow.
Sure.
Okay. So just hold your arm like so. Okay, just apply it. Good stuff. Like so. All right. So now I'm gonna put this to secure it, and I'll just put it on like so. So it's always good to tie it below and above the broken bone. So what I usually do, I would double knot it like so. So if you needed to tie it more, you can do so. Like that. And I'll also grab it and do one on the upper side of the injury. So now it's firm and secure. That's what you're trying to accomplish. And now we're also going to check the cardiovascular and neurological integrity again. So just checking for pulse. He's still warm. Does this feel out of ordinary?
No, it's fine.
That's good. I'm just checking for pulse again. Yep. Cap refill. Does your fingers tingle still?
No.
Okay, that's good. So there's no tingling, nothing else to worry about. And that's how you apply splint. Help you.
I'm in a lot of pain and I don't want to move.
Whereabouts is the pain?
It's in my neck.
From scale 1 to 10, how bad is it?
It's a 6 or 7.
Okay, do you know what day of the week it is?
It's Monday.
Okay, do you know who's the Prime Minister of New Zealand?
It's John Key.
Okay, so now he's orientated to day of place. Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna rotate my hand around your wrist and tell me if anything feels weird or out of the ordinary. How does this feel?
That's fine.
Okay, your wrist. How does that feel?
It's fine.
Okay, so I'm also gonna do that around your ankles as well. So how does it feel outside the outside of your ankle?
Fine, I can feel it.
Okay. So what about this?
I can feel that.
Okay. Can you please push my hands upwards? Right leg. Good stuff. Can I get you to push my hands upwards as well? Okay. So now I've checked for dermatomes and everything seems fine. Is it alright if I just behind touch your neck to check for tenderness?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna push a bit deep to check the bones and there's no tenderness or anything. I can feel there's tenderness. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a C-spine collar. So what this does is it's gonna reduce the movement to around 50%. Okay?
Sure.
Okay, to measure it, you just need to put it like so. So it needs to fit the latitude and the jaw and shoulders to it. So that looks small. So I'm just gonna expand it a bit. Yeah, that looks right. does that feel? Is it comfortable?
Yes.
Okay, can you move your head upwards or downwards? Okay, so you can see it's on clearly and well, it's in a perfect position, and that's what you're trying to accomplish when you do so. I had C-spine tenderness. I did not ask if he was drunk, and also usually would want to have someone to help the patient's head, because there was no one around to support that. I have just done it myself.